Well, we're fishing Hordle Lakes today. This is the Tench Lake. It's full of carp and tench. Today I've decided to bring out the pole, and I'm going to be using this kind of rig. It's a floating rig, and it comes ready made up with a trace. So just basically unravel that. What we do is we tie that to the swivel at the end. So we'll just pull the pole back, and I'll show you how this is done. So we've got some elastic built into this pole. This is just a small whipping pole of about, I don't know, 15 feet. 17 feet max. What we want to do is just clip off the old line from the previous session, so make sure that swivel's nice and clear. That's all nice and clean now, and then just take the end of the line on the pole rig and we'll just tie a uni knot to that. I've pre-baited with sweet corn and with luncheon meat, and you can see the swirling that's going on down underneath that tree. I've put a lot of bait out just to get them going while I'm setting up. Just tying a uni knot to this rig, which I find 98% efficient. They're very good, and just tie this on, clip it off, plummet the depth, and we'll have a bit of fun with the pole today. And also I've brought my fly rod with me today, so we're going to have some fun trying to catch them off the top of the fly rod while we're waiting for the pole to disappear. If it gets so busy, we focus on the pole, and there you see, there's the built-in elastic. You see it stretches and gives, and there's the pole, and you'll see how it works. So what we do now is we just work this through. That's a needle float. See the carp already jumping, and we'll plummet the depth and get this depth right. It's only about 2.5 to 3 feet deep, so we'll bring that float down, and basically we're taking this all the way down to where we need to be, which is, like I say, only about 2.5 to 3 feet deep, and it's about 8-pound line here, and the size hook looks as though it's a 12. There's a fish jumping right under our nose. So we'll get this all the way through here. These little wind-up things are great because you can close down your rig once you've finished, and we can put that back later. And there's the size hook we're using. So there we go. Okay, we've got fish feeding under our nose. And now all we're going to do is just bring the float down to where we want it, which I think will be quite shallow, and bait up with either some sweet corn or with some luncheon meat. We'll try a little bit of luncheon meat to start with. It's no more than about, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 feet deep. So I reckon if we go down to about that kind of depth. Let's have a look where we are. Keep going down. Let's have a look at this. I think we're about there now. No, keep going down. We've got carp feeding underneath our nose here on leaves. That bodes well. I think if we fish quite shallow, and then what I'm going to do, just put a little bit of meat on the hook here, get it down. So we're just using a size, looks like a size 14 hook here. So let's just put that in there, burying the hook in the soft luncheon meat. So I want that hook to come out to make the hook up. You see the tench bubbles and the carp bubbles in front of our nose. Now what we do, let's just see if we've got the length correct here, balanced. It might be that we've got too much line out. I think we may have a bit too much line out. So I think we'll just reduce down a bit. Right, I'm going to slide the pole up to its full extension. I'm just going to measure off now, make sure that we've got this working correctly and balanced. So let's just pull that out of the weeds. Should come out. There we go. Right, let's flick that out and just see how that works. Should be easier to work now. I've just shortened the size of the trace. Let's just pull that through. That all looks good. So just a little flick cast out, and let's just do that again. Let's do that again. You don't really want to be there. So just a little deeper, I suspect. Probably a bit too shallow. Let's go a bit deeper, say about there. And then just swing that into place, which I'm trying to do here. Let's just have a little go. It's quite hard with a tree. I just disturbed something there, but we've got a tree in front of us there, so it might not be easy to control that. So let's just see, it might need a little bit more weight on the float. I think it does. Or you can fish it as a slider. Right, I think we're just about set now. We've got the float properly shot, and we've got the pole elastic working correctly. We've got bubbles behind us, so just waiting for a carp to pick up that bait and run. There's a few bubbles behind us, so let's just see what happens. Now, you can just see it, the float is just on the edge. You see that? So I'll just wait for that float to disappear. A little touch. And there's one or two carp out there. We'll put a bit more food out there in a second, but let's just see how this goes. There's definitely some bubbles around there. Just looking for a runner. I think we've got a runner. Here it goes. There's a runner. It's going to disappear. I'll wait for it to go. There you go. Can you see the swirling behind the float? Something's going to take it. We'll wait for it to disappear before we take her. It's being played with. We'll get ready to strike. Not yet. Striking in. We're into the fish now. Fish on. That's quite a good one. He's trying to take me in there, so I'm just going to bring him out this way. It's fighting well. And that's on the pole. And we can see if we can just keep him out of the swim. We'll play him in this side. That's worked nicely. So first bite, first fish on. I'm playing him up nicely with the pole. You can see how the elastic works. There he goes. So playing him in this area. While he's going off, we'll put a bit more bait out, just to keep them interested and going and happy. So out she goes. A bit of sweet corn over the top. And then we'll land this one and play that one. We've got the fly rod to work as well, so we'll give that a go. I think we'll put the landing mat here, and that's it. And then we'll just put the fish on that mat. So now, as we play him in, we just dismantle the pole and bring that in towards us. It's a good fighting fish. It's not particularly big, but it's going well. There he goes. There he goes. I'll try and get his head up. There you go. I'm just trying to get his head up. There he is. So it's about £2.5, 2 pounds. Still fighting well. And we'll just slip the net underneath him. And we'll put him on the mat. So that's a nice sized fish. We'll wet our hands before we release him. And we'll look for the granddaddy. That's what we're looking for. I'll just unhook him. There he comes. There we go. And then we can return him. So that's a perfect little common. Let's see if we can get a bigger fish than that. There are bigger fish in here, but that's a good start. On the pole. So the bigger fish on the pole will be more challenging, but fun to catch. Let's try a bigger lump of meat. Perhaps a bit more depth. And let's try and get a bigger lump on here. There are some bigger pieces in here I've cut, and that will hopefully produce a bigger fish. Let's get a little bit deeper. Let's flick it over the bait we've put out. And let's see whether we can get another decent sized fish. Just slide her over the top. And fish about there, just over the bait. Let's have a look and see whether that's going to work. It should do. So I think we may have gone over depth slightly. That will still go if it wants to go. Something's having a play. We're in. Fish on. So it's a fisher chuck here. Ooh. It's slashed me. The swivel came out. That was a decent fish. Right, now we'll reset up, and this time, hopefully, everything should be sound. And let's just see how that looks and how that works. There's the float. So it's just, off it goes, look, straight away. I had a bite straight away, instant bite. So this is a much more sensitive float, and I missed that take. So I think we're going to go again. And this time, we'll take the first major movement. They're taking it literally on the drop. So, a lot of fish out there, very hungry. They're up for this. So, big lumps of meat to try and get the better quality fish. Just pull that through, and let's just slide her out. And just see how we go. So flicking her out. Out we go. Tuck her in there. That's lovely. Let's see, there we go. She's all ready to go. Now get ready for a first tuck under bite. Look, look, here she goes. Wait for it to go. Oof, how we missed her, I will not know. So we've got the rig that's working nicely now. Everything looks good. So let's have a go again. Slide her up again. I want it to be about, that's how what we'll do, we'll put the shot closer to the float just to hold her there. There's enough weight on the meat to get the hook bait down, and that's probably about the right depth. So let's go again, another piece. So there's rampant feeding going on underneath our nose here, rampant feeding. Let's see whether we can hook up this time. Let's pull that right the way through, make sure that hook comes out nice and easy. And let's go again. So we've got action, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see whether we can get the next fish. So pole fishing is quite an art to it. It's good fun when you've got action. And I've certainly got action here. And we'll just swing her in over the hole. Round about there, that's where we're getting bites. Look, straight away, instant bites. So let's wait that fella to slide right under. Let's just see whether we can zoom in on the float a bit more and watch it slide away. There it goes, wants to go. Big fish just feeding. Wait for that float to disappear. It's going to go. We're in, fish on. Now, we've hooked in. Not sure how big it is, but it's now starting to move. I think it's quite small, or is it? No, it's still there. He's pleasantly fighting. Wow, look at him go. Testing the elastic out. Oh, yes, look at him go. Oh, it just pulled out. Just pulled out. So a bit more bait. Over the top, keep it going. Is that hook still on, or did it smash? No, it's all there. That's all working well. Okay, we'll reset up again. Just got hook pulled out on that one. So we're going to flick her over into our hot spot. We've not even got the fly rod out yet, we're sticking with the pole. Just getting some action on the pole fishing here, so that's very nice. We're just going to wait for that to slide away, and then we'll take the next major movement. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That last fish upset it a little bit, but they're back onto it. Oof, felt it, just felt it. It took the bait. The hook didn't quite make contact, but we are getting some action. So I'm enjoying this. Right, let's go again. A bit more sweet corn over the top. Just keep them with their heads down, feeding. And we've only got small hooks here, but perhaps I should be using bigger hooks to get better hookups, but we'll stick with this number 14 for now, and if it does need a bigger hook, we can always up it. So, swinging her in again, and this time try to make contact with the fish. There we go. Took the bait straight away, straight away. This is a rampant swim. I've got to learn to make contact, and maybe smaller baits might be required. Just pull that through, make sure that hook will pull through nicely. That's just perfect. And again, we go again. So let's just go again. Off we go. Just tuck her in there. On the drop, that's what we're looking for. Just wait for that to slide right under. Here it goes. Being played with. Let's look for a definite bite. Ooh! Felt it. Felt the fish. Just pulling out. So it might be that I'm using too small a hook. We'll always change that later. Try again. So off we go. There's a bite of chuck. If we can make contact with these and play them in, we'll have a big bag. Look at the mouth coming up. And let's see if this one will go. It's on the slider. There we go. That's perfect. Let's see if that float will disappear. Sliding. Sliding. We're in. Fish on. Oh, and it's fighting well. We're in. Fish on. I'm not sure how big it is, but it feels half decent. We're just going to try and play him in to this area here. This feels like quite a big fish. He's definitely on. He hasn't woken up yet. Does he know he's been hooked? But he might just take off in a second. Here he goes. He's running. Now we've got him on. And now we're just playing him in nice and gently. I'm going to give him some left hand side and playing him on this side. If we can. But it feels like a good fish. He's going. And he's just disturbed an even bigger fish. So let's just bring him back through. Bring him back through here. They go for cover under this tree, but I'm going to try and play him out into more open water. So it's gently does it. Sensitivity. The elastic's working well. So he's going to go for another run. Off he goes. Floats come up. And while we bring him up, put a bit more bait out for them. Keep them feeding with their heads down. And we'll try and play him in over here. Here he goes. Off he goes. I'm just playing him back now. Get his head up. There we go. On the pole. He's coming in. Not played out yet. He wants to go again. He's running. Off he goes. Great fun on the pole. Great fun on the pole. I haven't seen how big this one is yet, but he'll show himself in a second. Just let's have a look at him. He's decent size. He's about 4. He's fighting better than the other fish we had on. He still wants to go. He's playing. Just trying to play him in now. But this is a good size stamp fish for match fishing. As far as match fishing, I'll be happy with this size. So we've just got to keep playing him out. Keep his head up. But on the pole, it feels wonderful. There he goes. That looks bigger than 4, might even be 5. So there are some bigger fish here. We'll see if we can get his head up and land him once he's ready to come in. There he goes. He's seen the net. So, ladies and gentlemen, pole fishing at Hordle Lakes. Great fun. Still wants to go. Still got plenty of fight in him. Still got plenty of fight in him. I'm trying to keep him away from the right-hand swim so I can get back onto it. I don't want to upset that swim. But I'm just going to get his head up in a second. And then we'll have a go with the fly rod for a slightly bigger fish. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's about 5 pounds. He's kicking up some water. So we're just going to get underneath him. That's it, he's ours. That's a better stamp fish, about 5 pounds. And the hooks come out in the net, which makes it easier to return. So it's a beautiful, perfectly formed common. Wet our hands before we touch the fish. Let's have a look at him. Oh yes, you can see him there. He's a beauty, he's a beauty. Out comes the hook. We'll have a look at the fish. So we've got about a £5 common carp here, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Isn't it beautiful? We're in, fish on, and it feels like another good one. The pole's working very well at the moment. It's really producing the goods. And while we're playing it in, we'll put another blanket of sweet corn over the top. Keep them going. And just see what we've got here at size. Not as big as the other one, but it's still a nice fish. Just get his head up. Yeah, it's not bad stamp. It's about a £3 class. So what we'll do now is we'll play this fish in. Just play the fish in like that. Get that under the net. Still wants to go. It's a good fighting fish. Don't they go one on the pole? Look at them go. Look at the elastic just acting as a shock absorber. That's the whole idea of it. Going to get his head up. Slide him under the net. It's about a £3 common. Perfect, perfect, perfect condition common. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And there we have it. It's about £2.5. So we'll just wet our hands again and remove the hooks. So the hook is just on the lip there. Just take that out. Slips out, barbless hooks. And there we have another beautiful £2.5 to £3 fish there. There she is. Now just return her in the net. Slip her back. And off she goes. Alright, we'll have another 5 minutes on the pole, and then we'll get going with the surface baits and the fly rod, bigger fish, that's what we're after. But this is fun, the pole fishing is fun. It'd be nice to get a really big fish. Look at that fish jump, that was a biggie. That was a biggie. Cleaning his gills. So let's go again. And there we go, so off we go. Right over the money again. See if we can hit the next big movement. Here it goes. We're in again. We are in again. We've got a dead cert swim here, full of fish, full of carp. This one's a bigger one. It is moving like really fast. Look at it go, look at it go. Just trying to keep it out of there. He wants to go under the trees. I'm trying to keep him out. He wants to go under. He's come out. That's a shame. That was a good fish. They like that tree cover. They really do. So, what we'll do now is we'll set up the other rod. We'll keep the pole on the back burner. And we'll do a bit of fly fishing on this rod. There we go, that's perfect. Let's see if that float will disappear. Sliding. Sliding. We're in. Fish on. Oh, and it's fighting well. Sliding. Sliding. We're in. Fish on. Oh, and it's fighting well. It's fighting well. So we're just going to have to kind of play it out a bit. We've got a decent fish on here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to try to play him out of the swim if we can. There we go. Get his head up. It's a nice fish. It's a nice fish. Let's try and get his head up. Oh, it's a decent fish. It's fighting really well. There's good bend in the elastic. See the elastic bending. So with the pole fishing, you just have to keep a little bit of pressure on, not too much. There he is. Up he comes. Let's try and get his head up. Oh, it's a decent fish. It's fighting really well. There's good bend in the elastic. See the elastic bending. So with the pole fishing, you just have to keep a little bit of pressure on, not too much. There he is. Up he comes. Only small. So, right. There he comes. Let's have a look at him. That's a perfect little common, about £1. But you took that nicely. Let's go for the big fish now. There are 1 or 2 bigger fish in here. I think we'll try the fly rod to catch them. So there's the hook. I'll just pull that out. Gently lip hook that, and we're just slipping back. Right, now let's try the fly rod and see how we go with that. Good fun on the pole. Enjoyed that a lot. Really good fun. Right, we're going to try a little bit of crust on the fly rod. I'm going to put a few doggy biscuits over the top to get them up with the heads all up. Let's see if we can get their heads up first. We'll just flick out a few doggies. I'm going to put a big lump of bread on this size 8 hook. So that's the bread we're fishing. Fly rod, we're looking for a big mouth to come up on that lot. And let's have a look and see if they want it off the top. They're starting to come now. We'll just zip her out. Oops, that's the only problem with this swim is that blasted tree needs to be taken down. Or at least the branches could do with the taking down. So let's do that again, put some more bread on. And now we've got some mouths, big mouths coming up. Enjoying that, so let's see if we can get a big fish on some bread. There's some big mouths amongst them, the ducks are coming in, which is always the problem. But we'll just see whether we can scare them off. A few mouths are up. Let's just flick that over the top onto the big mouths, and let's see if they'll take a bit of bread. They might do. So let's just have a look, and we're ready for them when they go. So just looking for a big mouth to just take that out right under, and let it just go. Once it goes, they should go off. So taking the bread. So we're going to go again. Just looking for the big heads to come up. And away we go again. There we go. Let's see if they'll take that. Just waiting for an engulf. Suck under jobby. And we're in. So we'll let that fly rod do the business. And we've got the fly rods working well. So, where that's come from. Let's slip that in my pocket, I'll put that back in there. Right, while that's going on, let's put a few more biscuits over the top, just to keep them happy, and we'll play this fish in. So there we go. Fly fishing, and that's quite a nice fish. It's actually quite a decent sized fish, this one. But we've beefed up for this, slightly bigger hooks, and we've got stronger line. It's 8-pound line. Let's get his head up and have a look at him. He wants to take line. Big ones will strip really well, so a bit of fun on the fly rod now. You can see the bend in the rod. Let's get his head up. He wants to go. He wants to go. He's taking line. He's taking line. So put a bit of left-hand side on him. Bring him up. There we go. It's a perfect conditioned 4-pound, 3 to 4 pound common. We should be able to just slip him up into the net. It's not quite ready yet, not quite. So we'll try and catch the grandad if we can. There we go, he's ours. So, bit of fun on the fly rod, about 3 pounds, 3-pound stamp. It's a nice fish. So we'll just have to unhook him and release him in the net. So there we go, you like that bread. It's a perfect common. Perfect condition common. And we'll just slip out the barber's hook. Should come out nice and straightforward, it does. And that's the 3.5 to 4 pound fish that we're looking at here. About that stamp. And we'll just return him in the net. It goes back nice and easily. Just looking after the carp here. And we'll go again. This time we'll try and get a slightly bigger fish. They do like it. They do like it. Okay, a few more biscuits out. Keep them going. A little bit more bread. Just a small piece required. I'll try a large piece and see what impact that has. It might be just picked off by the bigger fish. You can try. Let's see what impact that has if I put a larger piece on. See if a big mouth will come up and take that. A big piece. There's a big carp. I can see a big carp just there, just there. So let's see if he'll take it. Just want a big engulf. Oh, he took it and spit it out. So we've got a lot of fish in this pool. They all like these dog biscuits, just to keep them active. Just want a big mouth to come up and just engulf now. There's one or two bigger fish now showing themselves, which is good. Yeah. So we'll just try and put that over the mouths. See whether they'll just take that in. Fish on, not a biggie. I don't think it's a big one anyway, it's quite small, but we'll play them in this side and then we'll throw a bit more bait out just to keep active. They're like these little doggies. I'm using my puppy dog biscuits. They're very small, easy to get in their mouths. Smaller than the square ones, they look more like chocolate. Oh look, there's a big one just come out now, look. There's a bigger fish there with a big head. So this is another small one. So we need to work out a way of getting the bigger fish. I think I know how to do it. Wait for the big fish to come up and put the bait over that mouth is the way to do it. Barbless hooks are slipping out nicely. That's beautiful. And we've got ourselves a little mirror there. Fully scaled mirror. Right, let's just try that big fish now. There is a big fish amongst them. Okay, let's use a bit of crust. Let's get the big head out like we did before. We'll use a bit of crust here. Hopefully that will do the business and that will produce the big fish. I'll just wait for that. There's a big mouth coming up, look at that. Looking for a big head to come up. Just wait for that big mouth to come before we go down. Wait for it to come back again. Okay, we are in. This is a better fish. He's taking a bit of line. Slightly better fish. Feels like a better fish. Right, we'll just keep him happy. And we'll play this one over this side if we can. It's a better fish. I can see his tails come up. Yeah, it's a better fish. we go. About £3. Perfect common. And the hook slips out nicely. That's the stamp of the fish. And back he goes. There we go. Right, time for one last fish and then we've got to get going. Right, I'm going to try an experiment here. Rather than use bread off the top, I'm going to use a threaded necklace of bait. See if that works to pick up a bigger fish. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Put 4 bits on. Just see how that helps. Whether that's going to be the way to do it. So there's a lot of bait out here. Put a bit down. That's what we're fishing with. Tighten the margins. Let's see what happens. Just have to feel for the bites as they go. We're in, and this is a big fish. I think it's a bigger fish on the fly. He's gone straight underneath. Oh, he's come out. That was a big fish. Double figure. Didn't quite have a proper hooking on them though. So that bigger bit of bait definitely paid off. Right, we have got, ladies and gentlemen, a kite. It looks like a red kite, just gliding through here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And that's here on the River Towie in Wales, West Wales. Just come up and just gliding for us. Isn't that just beautiful? Oh, I'm really happy with these images. It's a big old thing. Look at the size of it. It's obviously just gliding around on the thermals. And off it goes. Off it goes. There we go, we're with it again. Just come out on a and then go in. It's coming towards us, so